This is Lance Archer, the American Psycho.
This is Brian Thompson, the voice of TCW Wrestling.
This is the original hardcore wrestling and freak of ECW, the one and only Axel Rodney. Yes, this is the Shock Master, and you're listening to Hardcore Wrestling Radio.
Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Hardcore Wrestling Radio, and Happy New Year to everyone. And right now, we got the whole crew with us, and we even have a special guest, which I'll announce in a second. First, he's my partner, he's my sidekick, he's the son of a bitch, Andy. Andy, welcome to Hardcore Wrestling Radio.
Happy New Year, Happy Christmas, and Happy Holidays, and whatever else I haven't said for a while.
And over from Lance Moss TV, he's the incomparable Lance Moss. Lance, welcome to the show.
Happy New Year and a special happy birthday to the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart.
Oh, happy birthday to Jimmy Hart, too. And then way over from the West Coast, he's the Bay Area MVP, known as Will. Will, welcome to HWR.
Happy 2014 to all our fans, and then I'd like to make a little sad tribute to James Avery. He passed away at the age of 65. He was an actor on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He will be missed. He died of open heart surgery, and prayers to his family. Other than that, let's kick off HWR on a good note, folks.
From the Houdat Temple, he's James from the Big Easy. James,
Houdat.
Welcome to HWR.
I have not been on HWR for a while. You know, I miss y'all guys. Happy 2014. And after what happened when waking up, I really need to finish drinking my apple cider.
Yeah. He's a little traumatized at the moment. We're going to explain to him why, because right now we have a special guest. She's a personal friend of mine. Her name is Jack Shit. Jack, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate being able to be here. I'm just sitting here in my high boots and playing with my pussy and you know, just relaxing, chilling out.
She is definitely HWR material, folks, and if she's a little too hardcore for you, you might not want to listen to the rest of the show. But let's move on. We have Batista is coming back, but we also know that Brock Lesnar's coming back, guys. What do you think this means for the WWE? Andy, you know, what's your thoughts on these two guys coming back?
The end.
Seriously?
How low can they get? I mean, I ask you. Batista, he's been disrespecting WWE for about the last 4 years and said, I'm never going back to that rat race of a place. He's back. Told you, paychecks. And Brock Lesnar, why? Do I need to say any more? Why? Yeah, we know you're going to be fighting Undertaker at WrestleMania 30. We're not stupid.
All right.
Do I want to see that match? No. Do I want to take cock up the arse? No. But I'd rather take cock up the arse than watch that match again. I'd rather take Batista's cock because he's supposed to be well endowed.
Oh,
Well, you know what? Indy does bring an interesting point. There has been a lot. Well, I was talking more about along the lines of Brock versus The Undertaker because several years ago, Undertaker did approach Batista in an MMA fight about some kind of a fight. Some thought it was going to be an MMA fight. Obviously, now it's a possibility of The Undertaker Brock at WrestleMania 30. Do you even think if this comes, you know, to reality, is this even going to happen? And of course, what's this really going to do for the company? And do you think it's going to help buy rates?
And I'm going to quote something, Rick, like your friend on the show, it's going to be nothing but jack shit. And I'm going to explain why. Yeah, you just brought up the little confrontation when Brock was in MMA. Now, going into WrestleMania 30, if this even falls out, obviously we know who's going to win because they're both getting the limelight. They're both going to get paid. But the only thing is, we as wrestling fans already know the spectacle. There's going to be so much confliction, so much questions, so much hippity-boot blah that I can go on forever, but there's only an hour and a half show. So in brief point, I'll just say this. If it falls through, okay. Would I want this to happen? No, because Brock has a problem of making certain commitments. He was rumored to go back to MMA, but then we just seen him, last Monday. So, I mean, I don't think this is good for WWE going forward. I just think this is a mistake.
All right. James, let me on WWE.com today, Triple H had his usually weekly interview with Michael Cole, and he talked all about how Batista, Brock Lesnar's back, and he also talked about how Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, and of course Daniel Bryan, and it also seemed to think there's all these big guys coming on, and it seemed to be a teaser for the upcoming Elimination Chamber. What do you think about that possibility of a match, and maybe having Brock or Batista winning the titles?
It's just basically like how they did it with The Rock last year with the WWE Championship. You could give somebody who, is returning part-timer the title, and really it's bad for business, I believe. It's just bad for business. Why are you just giving these titles to people that either return, that haven't been in the company for the longest, or is part-time, like how they did with The Rock,
Okay. And finally, Lance, I have one question. With these guys, again, coming back, I mean, Brock walked in and said, you know what, I deserve a title shot. I deserve, I shouldn't have to go into the Royal Rumble to get my title shot. I don't have to stand in the invisible line. I'm not going to wait for the Rumble. I'm the number one contender. Do you feel that that's right to all the other guys who've been busting their ass, who've been earning their spot, for him to just come in and take that spot?
I'm going to steal a quote from Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh, hell no. Because he knows if he went in the Rumble, they probably get the same strategy they gave to Andre the Giant right back out. And two, he don't have the ability anymore that all he does now is hurt people instead of actually wrestle good matches. So, no.
But here's something I want to bring up. This was something like The Rock brought up, I think yesterday. The fact that originally the original plan was Rock Brock for this upcoming WrestleMania, but The Rock's not coming back for WrestleMania 30, so they had to do something now with Brock Lesnar.
But the title?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that makes sense either. I think they could have done so many different things. I hope at least he doesn't get the title. So. But let's move on now. Over to TNA, Jeff Jarrett, who founded TNA with his father, is now gone from TNA. He's gone from the company. He posted this on his Twitter page announcing his resignation from the company, saying, on December 22nd, 2013, I've officially resigned from TNA Entertainment. Thanks to everyone involved from the fantastic memories. #grateful. Guys, I'm sorry, but this has been the final blow. For the past couple of months, we've known that TNA has been having a lot of financial issues with the company. They've been doing a lot of, cutbacks. We saw the issues with AJ Styles. They let him go. And, they were trying to, he tried to come back. They lowballed him, and let him go. And now he's officially gone. He's now signed with ROH. And one of the big men who probably could have saved this company, the only one last chance I think saved this company, is gone. Lance, I'm going to jump over to you. What are your thoughts on this?
Like somebody just said, death knell of TNA. I mean, you lose the guy who started it, and yeah, the bricks are starting to fall. The house is coming down, and yeah, the bricks are starting to fall. The house is coming down.
Andy, you just heard this news not even 5 or 10 minutes ago, and you were just you were really shocked by it. If you could think there's any one way to save the company, is there any way to save this company? What would be one thought to do?
Well, the only thing I've ever said, and it's been ridiculed on the page, and it's been and there's more chance of me running TNA than Jim Cornette.
That would make for an interesting show, I'll give you that.
I mean, look, I mean, people ridicule the guy. There's a lot of people that don't like Jim Cornette, but when Ring of Honor was popular, it was because Jim Cornette made it popular. The moment he walked away from Ring of Honor, it went down the toilet. And it still is down the toilet. So if AJ Styles has gone down the ladder to Ring of Honor, I'm sorry, you might as well stick on the indies, because Ring of Honor is the type of stain that you get on the bottom of the toilet bowl. It's the proper shits. If you've seen any Ring of Honor lately, the card, it's just the shits. When it comes to wrestling, it's as low as you can get. It's not even a good indie show anymore.
Will, your thoughts about Jeff Jarrett leaving the company and what could possibly done to be saved, can do to save the company, if anything at all?
$1 million question is it really worth saving?
Yeah.
The only thing is, if they don't, my opinion here, if they don't save it, then we've got to put up with WWE. I think at least with Ring of Honor, TNA being there, at least it's keeping WWE on the toes. I think if Vince has all the eggs in his basket, things are just going to get worse.
And that's a valid question. And you know what, James, I'm going to put that question over to you. What if, TNA folds and WWE buys the rights to TNA? What then?
Oh, shit. As James is very, very shocked.
Yeah, I think he's still shocked to be the jack shit.
Wait, what was the question again?
Is what happens if TNA folds and WWE, squanders the rights?
I don't really, to me, I still don't really see WWE trying to go after TNA at the same, because really, what is there to get now with the fact that, it's a dying company. I understand that.
Vince is waiting for TNA to come to him, I think.
Yeah. Well, let's. Another person just recently left too. Jeff Hardy is also gone from the company. Now, a lot of people are probably gonna be like, "Well, that's not really a big issue," but keep in mind, he wrestled his last match, and I'm not gonna name names, but there are a couple of wrestlers in the company who spoke with Joe, who's not here. He wanted to be here. He wanted to rant, and I was not able to contact with him tonight. And Joe said that these people are now trying to work with Joe for any amount of money because TNA is cutting their prices so low, and that the budget cuts, and that wrestlers are looking for work anywhere and everywhere, and that more people will be leaving as the weeks and months come. And Joe asked them, right, flat out, is there any signs of TNA being around by 2014? And they said, I don't even see them lasting by the first quarter. Because the way it's going, the company is just, people are just getting fired or quitting, or once their contracts are done, they're leaving. And more people are leaving. It's not the end. This is not the end of it. It's just the beginning. People's thoughts. Will, I'm going to start with you.
Okay, you just mentioned the first quarter. Now, TNA, like I said 3 weeks ago on our show, I don't even see them lasting past going into the summer because, Hardy gone, Jarrett gone, AJ to Ring of Honor. I just read a report that Daniels and Kazarian, Bad Influence, is looking to hit the indie scene. I mean, we've been talking about the signs are coming up crystal clear, gentlemen. And it seems like the more these cuts, more of this line levels is going down. In other words, watch every other day or every other week, they're going to start leaving and leaving and leaving, and the only person that's going to regret it is, her. What's her name? Dixieland. Can't even say her name right now, but we all can agree that if everyone hits the indie scene, because there's no way they're going to WWE, but if they hit the indie scene or Ring of Honor, there's only one person to blame, and we all know who it is.
Absolutely. Lance, your thoughts?
Pink Floyd said it best, just another brick in the wall.
Yeah, it's tumbling down. Andy, your thoughts?
They were going in the right direction, and then suddenly they just lost the plot, and I just put it down to Hulk Hogan. I'm sorry, but I put it down to Hulk Hogan.
Well, I think you said it even before Hulk Hogan. You said a long time ago that you think there were people that were plotting against her, that somebody was inside to take the company down. And it seems to be maybe that is the case. Maybe somebody was really in there to take her out, because obviously she had nobody really loyal. I mean, the wrestlers were obviously loyal, but the management obviously wasn't loyal enough.
I'll still stand by that. Somebody has gone in there and been spilling the beans to our friend Vince, and I still think that's one of the main downfalls of the actual thing. I just think they've gone in there and attacked it from the inside, and people will laugh for me to say this, but that's exactly what happened at WCW, and I don't care if anyone tries to prove me wrong. It's exactly the same that went on there.
I think, honestly, with WCW, it's a different situation. Because WCW, their problem was...
The guy that used to run the WWE show, is he Summit Sullivan or something like that? Not Kevin Sullivan.
Kevin Sullivan.
Who is the guy that used to run the WWE show? Because I was doing... I don't know how I forgot his name, because I was doing some research the other week. He ran the WWE, went to WCW... That's him, Bruce Pritchard. Went to WCW. Within 12 months, WCW went down the toilet. Bruce Pritchard is now with, or was, last time I heard, with TNA. And they are going down the toilet.
Well, see, and you know what? Here's the thing.
Because
he was with TNA.
He's the inside guy.
He was the inside. He was doing the financials. And he was the reason why RVD left, because RVD didn't get his checks because Bruce Pritchard was fucking up the checks. And he's gone now from the company.
Or so they say. They've probably realised that he's done them no favours, but God, couldn't they see that coming? Don't they read the history books? Obviously not. He's been in 3 companies, and all 3 companies have gone down the toilet.
Well, let's shift gears a little bit. There's now rumors, back to WWE, that Vince McMahon is actually considering doing away with the heels and face gimmicks. Andy, what are your thoughts about that?
Can't see how it'll work. It's like saying I run a circus and I'm going to take clowns out of it. It's part of what wrestling is. I just can't see how he can take it away. And if he's taking it away, why is he supposedly now making Daniel Bryan a heel? Because he obviously is.
Yeah, obviously, but I think if they're going to do it, I don't think it's going to be like switch over day or night. I think it's something that's going to be doing over time within the next year. But I mean, I have to agree with you. Yeah, it's not going to make sense and it's not going to sell. Lance, if they did take everything away and they made everyone, as we would say, tweeners, how do you think the company would run it? What do you think that it would do for the what can you see happening?
Honestly, I see. Anybody remember what it was like between the golden era, per se, and the attitude era, where everybody else had a job that was something other than being a wrestler as their gimmick?
Vaguely. Mm-hmm.
I see that coming back, unfortunately.
All right. Will, what's your thoughts on the heel and babyface going away?
To be very honest, I really don't like this move, because we know wrestling throughout the years it's been around, you've always known the difference between a good guy and a bad guy, a face and a heel. The crowds, they can tell, but I just don't see this legitimately as a good move, because then if you're just going to have a company that has a bunch of tweeners, then you might as well just throw down that circus down the corner on 6th Avenue, because that's more interesting than this. I think the whole concept is a joke, but I mean, I've known wrestling for 25 years, and that's the only thing I knew. There was always a good guy and a bad guy. There's terms, there's lingo for it. Same time, I just don't see the point of it just having regular people, quote, regular, difference between being yourselves and what's scripted. So I don't even see this really going forward. I think the concept sucks, and we're not talking about a dirt devil vacuum.
All right, James, let me ask you this question. Do you think that maybe the reason the reason behind Vince is trying to do away with this is that they're going to try to compete with MMA, because MMA, if you really look at MMA, there's no really good guys or bad guys. At the end of each and every match, they kind of shake hands, and, there is animosity before the show, because I think that's just more of just, the fight before the show, but after the show, they shake hands. They're both bloody and beating the hell out of each other, but that's it. Maybe they're trying to add a little bit of more reality to it.
I think that's what they're trying to do, but at the same time, it doesn't work, because we all know professional wrestling is always you need a bad guy and a good guy, someone to cheer, someone to boo. Why take away that concept of the fact that, this person's not going to be a bad guy. I mean, I kind of understand, because, you got fans that cheer some heels and boo some faces. But, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. Well, now we're going to move on to doing our year-end awards, which we did record, and of course, Rick Starr here fucked up, and we'll have to move on that one. First, we're going to start. We do two categories that are voting and picks. Where we all vote on, and obviously picks, we all pick, because there's some categories we just have to have. So first is our match of the year. Our nominees are Daniel Bryan versus Seth Rollins at Raw, CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, and Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan at Hell in a Cell. This is a vote. Andy, I'm going to let you be the first to vote on this one. And he's not there.
Sorry, Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan. I muted my microphone. Do apologise.
Oh, no worries. Okay. So we have one for Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan. Will, over to you.
My vote is going to be Daniel Bryan versus Seth Rollins. I thought that was the most physical match on Raw, and the crowd pretty much told us, with a lot of physicality, that's worth it. So I'll go Bryan versus Rollins. All right. James, over to you.
I'm going to go with CM Punk Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, because I believe, oh my God, huh? Because you don't see Brock Lesnar getting, having, match of the year quality, but this match at SummerSlam lived up to be match of the year to me.
And Lance, over to you.
I'm going Punk Lesnar, because it's the one that really jumps out to me in my mind, so yeah.
You know what? All right. And I'm going to go with you guys. I'll go with the Punk and Lesnar.
Okay.
And so next we're going to go to the Wrestler of the Year. Daniel Bryan, John Cena, CM Punk, AJ Styles, and Randy Orton. Will, over to you.
After I revise all this list together, even though it's a little bit on the upside of last year, I'm going to go Daniel Bryan. The biggest little man to win a championship. He gets over with the crowd. He knows how to hype things up when he's on Raw or SmackDown. Flat down, it's D. Bryan himself.
Andy, over to you.
I'm with Will all the way, Daniel Bryan.
Lance, your thoughts?
3 in a row, Daniel Bryan.
James.
Is my pick Daniel Bryan? Yes.
Make that unanimous. Daniel Bryan, absolutely. He had a phenomenal year, even though I don't agree with what they're doing with him right now. But yeah, absolutely. 100%. All right. So now we're going to go on to the What the Fuck Award. And this one, you know what, James? I'm going to let you do this award.
Oh, Lord. All right. Welcome to the What the Fuck Award. This is a pick'em. That means we each pick our winner. It's not a unanimous or vote type stuff. We just pick out who we think should win this award. The nominees are Raw Goes Country, 3MB as the Union Jacks on that one episode of UK Raw, the Cobra Gets Charmed on SmackDown. It's not Raw, but SmackDown. Eva Marie gets nominated for Diva of the Year Slammy. What the fuck? Diva Musical Chairs. And whenever Dixie Carter gets on the mic. My pick has to be the Cobra. when I watched it and when I heard it, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, what the fuck? I quit. I quit. I need more cider.
You sounded like Batista there for a minute.
Yes. Where's my wheelchair? I quit.
Andy, your pick.
It's got to be, for disrespecting the Union Jack, it's got to be 3MB.
Somehow I just thought, I'm like, oh, Andy's going to be picking on that one. You didn't like that gimmick, I take it.
No, not at all. There's quite a few other gimmicks that deserve it equally as well, but being as they're not in there, I'll go with 3MB.
Well, you could also pick one. If there's another pick that you could personally pick, what would be your personal pick?
My personal pick would be, why, oh why, have we got a person on the commentary team on Raw who is about as boring as Michael Cole?
Michael Cole?
Hey, you need to download that WWE app.
Yeah.
There is one person worse than Michael Cole who's on the commentary team. And Michael Cole is known for saying the word vintage. I can't remember what this person's line is, but every single week he comes out with the same bullshit. He's worse than Taz. Have we worked out who it is yet? Bradshaw. Bradshaw's about as interesting as listening to my mother breakdancing in the back.
That might be kind of interesting.
He's got a catchphrase. I can't even remember what it is, but I cringe every time he says it now. It's almost as bad as the vintage from Michael Cole. It's that
We fight on SmackDown, I don't know.
Yeah. Lance, your thoughts? Your pick?
Raw goes country. I've never said what the fuck so many times during a show in any of my life.
All right. Will, your pick?
I'm going to say... Too bad we don't do ties on HWR. I know we don't do that here. We're straight to the point. One. I know. But, I'm going to say, beyond a shadow of a doubt, Eva Marie getting nominated for a Slammy, and I'm sorry. And this is not to offend our guest Jack Shit, because she sounds pretty, but Eva Marie should even not been confirmed for a damn award. She can't wrestle. She can't perform. WWE only kept her on because of her beautiful looks, and I mean, come on. WWE has been well known just to pick people to fill their pockets. I mean, it's been their line for almost, going on 10, 20 some odd years? I mean, why keep someone if they can't perform? Oh, what? So she got a beautiful face? Look what happened to what's-her-face. She had a beautiful look, and she obviously can wrestle. Named Kelly ring a bell, gentlemen.
But explain that. She's probably performing off something else in the back, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I'm just saying theoretically. There's no way Eva Marie should have even been nominated. So that's my pick, and with everything else goes straight to hell.
Damn.
All right, and I'm going to give you my pick, and you know what? I still say it. It's every time Dixie gets on the mic, and every time I just say, what the fuck? It's just obvious. So, and of course, that's going to bring us to our next award, which is the What the Fuck Dixie Award, because she has to have her own award. So, and for this one, Andy, because I know you're such a Dixie fan, I'm going to let you read these awards off.
The awards are, and this is the award I pick, when Dixie humped Hulk Hogan's leg after he quit. I definitely vote for that one. Just about any time Dixie gets on the microphone is number 2. Number 3 is the Wheel of Dixie. Who wants to get on the Dixie train? And number 4, just when you think things can't get any worse, Dixie and EC3 try to cut a promo together. No, it's got to be number 1 for me when she was humping Hulk Hogan's leg. I was so jealous that night.
and you know, we know that you love Dixie, not for her management skills or for her commentating skills, but just the fact that you think she's sexy. But you know what? I have to give it to you, because when I saw that, I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" So yeah, I'll give it. So, Will, over to you.
Just any time she gets on the mic, I mean, let's get things straight. And I know Dixie Carter does not listen to our podcast here on Hardcore Wrestling Radio, and thank God she does it. But
it's too hard for her to tune in. That's
why. Shit. But really, let's be honest, gentlemen. Let's be bluntly honest for a second. When she gets on the mic, she tries to be like Stephanie McMahon. And hello, Dixie, you're not Stephanie McMahon. You don't even have the slight attitude like Stephanie McMahon. And in one episode, you tried to be like her, tried to replicate a line from her, and you failed miserably. So, less on the mic and in TuneIn would be interesting, or that's if it's still around. But that's my vote. Vic, just next time, Vicky, stay away from a microphone. Save face while you still can.
James, your pick.
My pick, anytime she gets on a microphone. Why, oh why, oh why.
All right. Lance, your pick.
What's worse than Dixie? Dixie and EC3. So, Dixie and EC3 trying to cut a promo together.
Yeah. All right. And now we're going to move on to our Breakout Star Award for the pick. And you know what? Will, I'm going to let you do this one.
No problem. Ladies and gentlemen, we have this next thing called Breakout Star Award, and here's our list. At number 1, we have Luke Harper of the Wyatt family. Number 2, we have Seth Rollins of the Shield. Number 3, one half of the WWE Tag Team Champions, Cody Rhodes. Number 4, it's an honorable mention in Rockstar Spud. Really? And number 5, Roman Reigns. Now, it's very, very tough with these nominees, gentlemen. It's very, very tough. But to pick one and pass it around, I'm going to have to say it's going to be Luke Harper. I mean, he has impressed me since September. Even the singles competition, I think he's a better right now than Bray Wyatt at the moment. Bray Wyatt's supposed to be the leader when Luke Harper is getting more of the fanfare. His ring work is excellent. So my vote is going to be Luke Harper.
All right, Andy, over to you.
My vote, I'll stick with the Brit. My vote would be Rockstar Spud. If he changes gimmick and step away from Y2J, please. Every time he comes on the TV on TNA, he screams, Chris Jericho, find your own gimmick. He's got the mic skills, he's got the ability. Yeah, he's small, but that doesn't mean shit in TNA. I mean, look at Austin Aries, he's small. Just get your own gimmick, because you're going to go nowhere with the gimmick that you've got, but you've got the potential.
You know, I have to, I don't know if you've been watching him lately on Andy, but he's been playing as Dixie's assistant, and he's been funny as hell. And he's been doing really, really well.
He's got really good mic skills. I mean, when I've seen him on the UK shows, he's done really well. It's just that gimmick is just, it's just blatant rip-off of Chris Jericho.
Yeah, and like I said, the one that he's doing now is kind of like more of like the little lapdog, and it doesn't seem to be really Chris Jericho-ish. I haven't seen him overseas, but what I've seen him now is just funny as hell, and he's really excellent. So, moving on, and that's why I gave him the honorable mention. I don't think he's really a breakout star, but he's definitely there. For me, I'm really torn on this one because there's been so many great, great here, but I'm going to give it to Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins was really impressed me this year, especially in the latter part of the year. So that's my pick. James, over to you.
Mine has to be Seth Rollins because he has good quality matches. I mean, Roman Reigns is getting up there, but I feel like Seth Rollins did do a little bit more.
All right. Lance, over to you.
Well, since he's the program with his brother and his father, I just think Cody Rhodes has just came into his own. So I'm giving it to Cody.
Yeah. And again, all of these guys really have had an impressive year. There's not one of these guys that loses, which is why we did a pick rather than a vote.
Well, one of them works for TNA. That's got to count against them a little bit, but
that's his only downfall. So other than that, but then let's go over to wrestlers who should just quit. Guys who just can't even, can't get ahead in the business.
You sure it's guys, or because I'm reading this as women wrestlers?
Oh, women wrestlers. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. I was paying attention to jack shit. I was looking at the hype and the nice boots she has. But you know what, James, I'm going to let you take care of this one.
All right. As the Divas correspondent, I will announce to you our nominees for the Woman Wrestler Who Should Just Quit Award. This is a pick-up, not a vote. So, Oksana, Lady Tappa, Alicia Fox, Eva Marie, and Rosa Mendez. I'm sorry. Eva Marie should just quit. And here are a couple of reasons why. I know this is supposed to be a short, but I'm sorry. She can't act, she can't wrestle, she can't ring announce, she lied to management, she can't dance, that slapped to Jerry the King Lawler, and a few other stuff. And, oh yeah, most of the roster hates her ass. So yeah.
I don't think it's her ass they have a problem with, it's just the rest of her.
Yeah.
All right, Lance, over to you.
Later, bitch. Later, Eva.
Will, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump me on the wagon for this one because James just stated it is a lot more, and I'm gonna put one more detail into this one too. Just WWE will do anything to benefit their pockets. That's why they made her dye her hair red, and WWE will just do anything for their image, and that's what we got.
I'm just gonna ask, how does she have a roster spot before Paige?
Exactly.
I think because Paige can wrestle and Eva can't, so they're probably just...
He was better on her knees.
Probably. Andy, your thoughts? Andy, your mic?
Turn your mic on, buddy.
Well, Andy's getting his stuff. You know what? I don't think she should just quit because I believe that she is definitely eye candy.
Oh, I'm back. Sorry.
Go ahead, Andy. Your thoughts?
Alicia Fox.
Okay.
Why should Alicia Fox leave the WWE? She shouldn't even be in wrestling. When she was on that stupid program when Steve Austin was on.
No, that's Cameron.
That girl who said her favourite female wrestler of all time was Alicia Fox. She wanted a bullet through her forehead. She wanted her bottom lip. She wanted her bottom lip pulling over her forehead.
Oh, Cameron, you're referring to.
That's Cameron.
Yeah,
okay.
Alicia Fox has got no ability whatsoever. I would rather watch a turd rot on the gutter.
So Andy's Trump pick is, of course, Cameron. Which is probably why she's not even in wrestling anymore. But hey, he still made a valid point. All right. So now, my pick, you know what? I don't think Eva Marie should be... She shouldn't be in wrestling, but she should just, only because she is eye candy. I still think she could be a valet. She could do a few other things. So, I'm not sure she's ready to quit just yet. Although, I have to say... Oksana, I have to agree with Billy. She's good looking, but the woman just cannot wrestle. Sorry, she needs to get out.
Yet she got a pin last Monday on Raw.
That was not a pin. That was like, did you see the move? How she did? She did I could elbow to the back, and she had to roll her over. Like it was terrible. I'm sorry. So for once, I got to agree with Billy, and that was for Billy. So Billy, if you're listening, that's for you. And now, I believe this is Lance's. The hashtag That Ass Award. Lance, over to you, buddy.
Yes, this is the award for when you see a woman's ass and you just go, that ass. So yeah, it's the hashtag That Ass Award. Number 1, Brooke Tessmacher. We ain't talking Brooke Hogan here. AJ Lee. 3, the only thing she's good for, her ass, Eva Marie. 4, Let the Pigeons Loose, Velvet Sky. And number 5, and Rick's favorite, Naomi with all that junk in her trunk.
She's got junk in her trunk, then that's scaring me.
What a big old booty.
Can I be stuck in 2 asses? Because
you want to vote a cold winner?
It's a bit of a toss. There's a play on words here. It's a bit of a toss-up. Which one I like? Miss Tessmacher or Velvet Sky?
Yeah, that's definitely.
I really couldn't make my mind up which one I'd rather be in.
Yeah, I can see I can see your problem there, Andy. But you know what? I'll go real quick, and I gotta go Miss Tessmacher all the way. She's got that ass, and every time I look at it, I'm like, wow, look at that ass. But you know what, Andy? While you ponder over that question, I'm gonna pass it over to you know what, Lance? Who's your pick if you had to make a pick?
Because I dig Crazy Chicks, AJ Lee.
AJ Lee, all right.
That crazy ass.
Dig that crazy ass. Lance, I'm sorry, James. I know.
Hey, I tell you always mix me and Lance. What the heck?
I don't know.
I'm
James,
I'm a bit gutted that Mae Young's not in there.
Mate, you know what? Andy, would you like Mae Young to be your pick?
No, not really. No, not quite.
I was about to put that as your Trump pick. James, your thoughts?
No disrespect to AJ Lee, but I have to go with Brooke Tessmacher.
All right, Will, your thoughts?
Man, I'm gonna go outside the box here, and I'm gonna say Naomi because nothing racial or nothing, but she can dance, she can wrestle, and I think she's the better. I can't even say the name. Funkadactyl than Cameron by far. Gotta put it out there.
She does have a fine ass. So, all right, Andy, back to you. Have you decided which one you'd have to pick, or is it gonna be a split vote?
I'm gonna go for Brooke Tessmacher.
Okay.
Can I just make a comment in case anyone thinks that we're being a bit disrespectful? But yes, I'd just like to say that I have heard that Mae Young has gone into a nursing home, and yes, I hope that she does exceedingly well. That was not meant as a bit of a nasty. It was just meant as a tongue-in-cheek joke. But I just thought I better mention it because some people might take offence to it. She's sadly
been in hospice care.
Yeah, she's sadly now gone into a nursing home. So
we do wish her the best and hopefully the speedy recovery.
Yeah.
And I believe that is Jack Shit getting back online. We welcome her back. And let's get on to the next one, which is the Women's Wrestler of the Year. These are women who can actually wrestle. This is going to be a vote, guys. Andy, I'm going to let you do this one.
Where are we? Women Wrestler of the Year. Gail Kim. No ass. AJ Lee. Natalya. Caitlyn. Or ODB. And I will say Caitlyn, personally, but I'll throw it round to Lance for your choice.
Well, since TNA is actually copying her storyline pretty much, having a big Samoan backing her up, and she has held the women's title for a long title reign right now, or the Divas title reign, I'm sorry. Miss AJ Lee.
All right. And James, your thoughts?
No disrespect to Natalya, no disrespect to Gail Kim and the other ones, but AJ Lee, this is why I pick her as my pick for Women's Wrestler of the Year. Because even though she started the year with basically being with Dolph Ziggler, she has gone back to the ring and competed more and then become Divas champion. Natalya, she kind of didn't have that much of a push until she got onto the Total Divas. Once they start like boosting up Total Divas and stuff, and when AJ Lee did that pipe bomb. So, Gail Kim is kind of like, she had like a couple good matches, but then she didn't like held the title until like November-ish. Or not November, October-ish, sorry. And Caitlyn ODB is like, So my pick's AJ.
All right. Over to you, Will.
Oh, man. As much as this is going to hurt some of our HWR fans a little bit more, I'm going to go Natalya because, hello, her dad is the Anvil Jim Neidhart. very talented, no hassles, and very competitive. Still think she should have the Divas belt by now, but we'll save that for another segment, so I'm going to tell you.
You know what? Will, I got to go with you. As much as she has not really had the best, she's not held the title or anything like AJ Lee, but as far as her wrestling skill and wrestling ability, I've got to go with Natalya. I've got to.
Can I say I've got to agree with you. I've always said she's got talent. The only thing that she's got going against her, she's not WWE material. As far as WWE are concerned, she's too big.
Yeah, I think she's the big bone, the big structure. I think that was the reason why Mickie James left, is because she, they said her, of course, of her weight.
And the next person that will be following it will be Caitlyn, because she's just. I know she's a bodybuilder by nature, but she's just getting too jacked up. Her leg. I noticed the other day when she was in the Six Diva match, her legs are getting absolutely huge. She's on par with I don't know, Brock Lesnar.
But she's a beautiful woman. That's
she
the thing.
is. There's no taking anything away from her, but she's going away from what Vince seems to like, and it's the stick insect he goes for.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. Those stick women, those small women, can't really wrestle.
Do you want me to tell you why I think Natalya is doing herself no favours?
Mm-hmm.
Her ring attire, because she's rubbing it in people's faces that she's trying to show off that she's got heart blood in her, and that doesn't wash with Vince, doesn't wash with anybody in the back either. She's taking on Brett's gimmick colour-wise.
I disagree.
I think she's taking it a bit too much.
I disagree with you there, because you know what? When she came out, she comes out to the music. I think that's what the WWE wants, because they like nostalgia. I think that was all WWE's doing.
Well, I would like to inform you if Andy's pick is Caitlyn. Basically, we have a 2-1 vote, and we have a tie.
Well, then if we have a tie, then we have a tie, guys. Then that is one of our ties. So
Cole, we got Cole Women's Wrestler of the Year. Okay, let's go.
Okay, we'll have to put those as a tie and just mark that for a tie then. All right. And next is our match of the year. Which is women's match of the year. Thank you very much for correcting me on that. And this is Gail Kim versus Taryn Terrell, which is the last knockout match standing at Slammiversary 11. AJ Lee versus Caitlyn, Diva Championship at Payback. Gail Kim versus Taryn Terrell, #1 contender ladder match at Impact Wrestling. And Andy, I'm going to let you do the pick on this one.
It's got to be #1, Gail Kim and Taryn Terrell. Last knockout standing, Slammiversary 11. That's probably one of the best female matches I've ever witnessed.
Andy, I'm with you. I agree with you on that one. James, your thoughts?
This is basically how AJ Lee and Caitlyn at Payback kind of got the idea of being a good Divas match. It was WWE watching Gail Kim and Taryn Terrell at Slammiversary, last knockout standing, because that was an awesome match. You see the Gail Kim and Taryn Terrell take those bumps. Man, I tell you, that was a good match.
So your pick is?
The last knockout standing match.
Okay. All right, Will, your thoughts?
Jumping on the boat with you guys, the last knockout standing match.
And Lance, finally, over to you.
Make room, here I come. Last knockout standing, Slammiversary 11.
All right, and it's unanimous. Women's match of the year. Gail Kim versus Taryn Terrell, and it was a phenomenal match. There's no doubt about it. And now we have the Sin Cara Award. Will, why don't you take this one?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Sin Cara Award, where the votes are legal and binding. #1, we got Mystico, the real Sin Cara. At #2, the returning of the 619 Rey Mysterio. And we have Christian. Folks, I'm just going to go ahead and say on record, I'm going to go ahead and say Sin Cara himself
Now, for those of you who don't know,
oh my,
we have a little bit of technical issues there. As Jack Shit continues to try to get back with us, we apologize. For those of you who do not know, what the Sin Cara Award is, let me explain to you a little bit more. That is basically who has gotten injury the most. It's an injury-prone award. And I got to go with you on the Sin Cara Award. Andy, over to you.
Yeah, I'm going to go the same. Sin Cara. That bloke has more injuries than Rey Mysterio.
All right, and James, over to you.
If you quit during a match just for a broken finger, I am shaking my head at you. Sin Cara.
Lance, over to you.
Mystical. I mean, he screws up the backstage. Now he's screwing up the ring. He got to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And since you're talking about who got to go, Lance, I'm going to put this over to you as who should get the hell out of.
This is the award for basically, like the title says, who should get the hell out. We got number 1, Eva Marie. Number 2, JTG. Number 3, Ezekiel Jackson. Number 4, The Fluke, Curtis Axel. Number 5,
Wait. Curtis Axel? I have Kurt Hawkins, sir.
Curtis Axel, yeah.
I am dyslexic, so... Okay, yeah, it is Kurt Hawkins.
I am dyslexic, KO.
Although he should get the hell out, but that's beside the point.
That's what I thought went in there. I was like, all right. And 6, Sin Cara. And this is a pick one, so... I'm going Eva Marie. Later, bitch.
Yeah. Andy, your thoughts?
Ezekiel Jackson.
I'm going to go with JTG, because we just haven't seen him in God knows how long. Will, over to you.
I'm gonna basically agree with you on this one, Rick. Ever since Shaq Gaspard left, he's just been weak by himself. Of course, he was an NXT pro to Lord knows who the star was, and he hasn't done really anything to impress you, so I'll go JTG.
And James, over to you.
As I run out of sparkling cider. My pick is got to be Eva Marie. Why? Just why, oh why. Still, why, oh why.
Right. As we move over to our Fluke Award. And, I'm going to take this one. We have our Curtis Axel, EC3, Fandango, Wade Barrett, and Dixie Carter. And, guys, I got to go with EC3. Because when I first saw him, I thought, you know what, maybe he could do some good for the company. Excuse me, do some good for the company. And I'm like, no. He's a total fluke, gone. Even worse than Curtis Axel himself. Will, over to you.
Oh man, I thought we could just put all 5 of them in a ball and just get rid of them all together. But this is only a 1-vote process, so I'm gonna have to agree with EC3. I mean, the vignettes were stupid. Made it seem like he's the next best thing, more like next big disappointment. Because he hasn't shown me shit. So vote me up for EC3. Extreme crappy.
Andy, your thoughts. Your pick.
Wade Barrett. All the way for me.
You know what? Somehow I knew you were going to do it. You don't even like the new Bad News Barrett, huh?
No, it's basically a mixture of excuse me and the bing bong. Oh, it's the general manager. It's like a mixture of all three, and all 2 of them gimmicks sucked.
He just...
What the hell was he doing on that thing that, did he call it a gurney in America, that high-rise platform that they used a couple of pay-per-views with Paul Heyman on, that got stuck when he couldn't even get in the ring properly? I mean, what was all that about? Somebody please enlighten me what that was about.
Oh, yeah. I still love the puns, you know?
Can we have some decorum, please?
It's like listening to Judge Judy.
I honestly thought it was going to be a new gimmick, a working gimmick, but yeah, who knows?
That guy is working himself out of the company. Next week, he's been ground level for a couple of weeks. Now he's been on an high-rise platform. Where's Raw going to be coming from next week? Because he's going to be sitting on top of the stadium.
Yeah,
to the car park.
Yeah, I can make a joke, but I don't want to disrespect Owen Hart. We'll just move on. Lance, your thoughts?
He should abseil from the rafters without the rope.
Damn.
Kill the British.
And this comes from Rich.
If they dropped him on his head, he wouldn't get brain damage. He's already got it.
Okay. Well, since it's the Fluke Award, I got to give it to the Fluke, Curtis Axel.
All right. And last, James.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Fluke Award, EC3.
All right. And now we're going to move on to Surviving the Titanic. And you know what? Will, I'm going to put this over to you, and you can explain to him what the Surviving the Titanic Award is.
I'm the king of the world!
Alright, Leonardo DiCaprio. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Surviving the Titanic Award where we each vote off. Number 1, the recently departed Chavo Guerrero. At number 2, AJ Styles. 3, Hardcore Country, Mickey James. Number 4, it's the whole effing show, Rob Van Dam. And number 5, put up the counts of brother Hulk Hogan. My vote.
What Titanic are they surviving? That's the question.
Surviving, get out of Dixie's panties and leggings survival, whatever you want to call it.
Andy can get in.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go first and swing. I'm gonna say more Hogan, even though I did vote Chavo last time. But the thing is, truthfully, Chavo, his contract was leaving. I'm going to say Hogan because Hogan knows he can't go no more. He can't wrestle. He can't really do anything. The only thing he can do is praise to the fans, get to the fans and everything like that. So I'm going to say Hogan.
Okay. Now, Andy, over to you. And now, keep in mind, Andy, you do have your Trump vote, so if you have to pull a vote that you don't see on the list, you can pull that.
No, I'm going to go with AJ Styles. I think he's got out while the going's good, to be honest.
All right. You know what, Andy? I'm going to jump on that ship. I agree with you, AJ Styles. So, Lance, over to you.
Well, he's under WWE contract right now. He's sitting at home in L.A., smoking pot. He's going to be back at the Royal Rumble. I'm going RVD.
All right, James, over to you.
We got another tie. We're going to go with RVD.
And let's be realistic. They're all winners because they all survived the Titanic at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, but at the end, but let's move on to the backstage moment of the year. And Will, this is your personal award. So, Will, over to you.
And now this is the Backstage Moment of the Year Award. And the votes are from here. Number 1, Daniel Bryan being abducted by the Wyatt family back on an August episode of Raw. Number 2, The Shield telling the WWE about Injustice just about a year ago, last year on Monday Night Raw. And number 3, AJ Styles taking the World Heavyweight title and the prize card that Dixie was going to give him, and leaving TNA with both. Now, honestly, usually I don't jump on any type of bandwagons, but I'm going to vote AJ Styles taking the car and the belt because this is how pretty much what we talked about earlier in the show. TNA's going into shit, everybody's abandoning ship, and that ship is not going to last any further where this keeps up. So I'm voting AJ Styles taking the title and the nice $80,000 car.
I think I will join you with AJ Styles.
And Lance, over to you.
Andy, move over because I'm coming on.
You know what, guys? I'm jumping on that ship. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Backstage moment of the year. AJ Styles leaving and never coming back, mind you.
Great, you guys. I'm going to ROH.
Yeah.
Can I? Is there room enough in this ship?
Yeah, jump on in.
All right.
Yeah, plenty of room in the trunk.
All right. I got the trunk.
Hold on. Isn't it in the UK? Isn't the trunk in the front?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Just asking. Now, Will, again, this is another one of yours, so I'm going to give this over to you. It's the wardrobe malfunction of the year.
Well, that's mine.
I apologize. So, James, it's yours. All yours, buddy.
All right. Wardrobe malfunction of the year. That's right. This is the... we had a couple more wardrobe malfunctions over the past year.
Can't we just have wardrobe malfunction in WWE history?
Yeah?
Because I won't vote for our friend Mae Young again.
Oh, Lord.
Well, keep in mind,
man.
You always have that Trump vote.
Show us them puppies. Show us them ham dog ears.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it wasn't even for the year, but all right. But since he had the Trump card, fine. But for the year, we have AJ Lee on SmackDown in January when she had her Raw reviewing. Caitlyn with the Raw after Payback with the nipple slip. Brie Bella on July 22nd Raw with a nipple slip. And Oksana on November 25th Raw with her top kind of coming off, but you don't see her stuff, but yeah.
I'd definitely vote Oksana because she's a complete tit. She's a wardrobe malfunction the moment she steps in the ring.
All right, so Andy, you have that vote. James, what was your vote?
My vote? I'm gonna go with Caitlyn. After while beating up AJ Lee, her nipple slip out. All right, tits and ass.
You know what? She is sexy, and I have to agree. You know what? But you know what? I got to give my pick to Brie Bella, and I'm going to tell you guys why. Because I remember it was like a hot day. It was like really, and for some reason, the tape to her dress comes undone, and you see the full nipple. And not only do you see the full nipple, it's right next to the WWE logo. How perfect is that? How better can you get? And it's just sitting there for like a good 30 seconds. She's just sitting there looking around like, da-di-da, with a big smile on her face, and she doesn't realize it. Most nipple slips, you catch it, they catch it in 2 seconds. She had no clue. Boom. That's my pick. Lance, over to you.
Because there's the clearest picture of this one, Brie Bella.
And Will, over to you.
Billy will probably have a shit fit when I'm about to say.
Oh, damn.
We know
Uh-oh, Raggy.
Billy, if you're listening to this, you'll probably be like, oh my God, Will, really? But I'm going to go Oksana. Because if nobody really seen it, that was clear as ever. That was just to be... Whoever dragged Oksana, we had a free pay-per-view on that one. So,
I think it was one of the Bellas.
Whoever it was.
All right, and I believe, Will, was the crowd response of the year
Crowd
yours?
Response of the year award. Now, I didn't have not many of them, but there is a little bit more. The first one is the 2013 Raw crowd after WrestleMania when Fandango supposedly got his push. Number 2, when the Wyatt family debuted on Monday Night Raw after the Kane-Christian match. And number 3, basically, when Daniel Bryan got the loudest applause from the Seattle crowd from Raw. And you look at it, they're all loud. but I'm sorry. As much as I like the Wyatts and as much as I like Daniel Bryan, I'm going to go with the Raw after WrestleMania. Fandango, you lucky son of a bitch, New Jersey liked you. There were so many videos on YouTube. I think that was the loudest one by far, so I'm going to go with the Fandangoing on Raw after WrestleMania crowd.
Andy, your pick.
I think I'll go with Will. As much as it pains me to say it, I think he got a big pop that night.
You know what? I think everybody got a pop that night because that crowd was just nuts. They were cheering for everybody and everything. So you know what? Absolutely, that was an exception to a huge exceptional crowd. So yeah, that's my pick as well. James,
I'm gonna go with the crowd. If you get chance for cotton candy, ice cream, beer, whatever, you get chance for RVD, JB, or Michael Cole. You gotta be you're good. You're good.
Michael Cole. Yeah. Michael Cole.
Yeah. Who cheers for Michael Cole, really? I mean, come on, Michael Cole?
Hey, that crowd did.
It's unanimous.
All right. Awesome. And then, Will, you do have another one. It's called the NXT Star of the Year. And we are not really big on NXT, so I think, Will, you might be a solo dance on this one.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and rant on this one.
I also do this one, too.
Okay, so you two are pretty much...
James and I are going to tell you about the NXT Star of the Year Award. Now, NXT, it's a branch of the WWE where upcoming stars will eventually go to the main roster. Our nominees are NXT Champion Bo Dallas, number 2, the Canadian sensation Sami Zayn, and number 3, the man who defines over gravity, Adrian Neville. I, for one, do not like Bo Dallas. I'm sorry, he's too damn cheesy. Adrian Neville, I know him as Pac from his indie days. He's pretty good. But I'm going to go Sami Zayn on this one. He was known as El Generico. When he took off that mask, he still got a better reaction. When he debuted in NXT, they still chanted Olay because many fans have followed his career. And, very athletic, talented, over with the crowd. So I'm going to go Sami Zayn. James?
No, they were not chanting for Los Matadors. I'm gonna go. This might Bo Dallas. He's basically kind of becoming like that Curtis Axel type stuff. He's this champion, but he hasn't had much with him. Adrian Neville is he's good here and there, but Sami Zayn, I gave him a good my vote because he's actually a good wrestler, and plus. His one match with Antonio Cesaro, 2 out of 3 falls. Oh my God, it was an awesome match. But I also have to give an honorable mention to the NXT Women's Champion Paige, too.
All right, and with that said, now we're going to go over to Lance for the Lance Moss TV Controversy Award. Lance, your floor.
Well, this is one that's going to be a pick. The choices are Daniel Bryan pinning Randy Orton with a fast count at Night of Champions. The Bully Ray Brooke Hogan wedding where the Aces and Eights members the rest of the Aces and Eights members were revealed. Triple H screwing Daniel Bryan out of the WWE title at SummerSlam. AJ leaving TNA with the TNA title. And 5, Paul Heyman stabbing CM Punk in the back at Money in the Bank. My personal one, the Bully Ray Brooke Hogan wedding, where the rest of the Aces and Eights were revealed.
All right, Andy, your pick. Unless we know of another one.
Let me unmute my microphone. It's pointless talking to myself.
I do that a lot.
I think I would go with the Bully Ray Hogan one as well, to be honest. I think it was probably the biggest controversy of the year.
All right. It was very controversial, but I've kind of noticed that weddings always kind of end in something, so you kind of knew something was going to happen there. The one thing that really shocked me a little bit was Triple H screwing over Daniel Bryan because I didn't see it happen. Joe kind of had to say, watch, Triple H is going to do it. I'm like, what? No, and I didn't see it until Triple H spun him around and boom, did it. And I was shocked. That was one of the rare times that WWE does shock me. So I got to give it to that. I got to give it to that moment. So that's my pick. My pick's number 3. Will, over to you.
I'm going to go on a little different stem, and I'm going to say Paul Heyman stabbing CM Punk in the back at Money in the Bank. And only just because everybody was on the hype of, hey, well, I'm a Paul Heyman guy. I can trust Paul Heyman. Heyman knows it's good for wrestling, but until when that thing happened, most of the IWC and most of us here were shocked as ever.
All right, James, over to you.
My pick has to be Paul Heyman stabbing CM Punk. I did not see that coming. I thought, I was like, I really thought, kind of knew that Punk wasn't going to win, but I was surprised that Heyman was the one that stabbed, the one that cost Punk the match. So my pick has to be Heyman.
All right, now over to, we're going to just not do the You Poor Bastard.
Well.
And Lance, this is yours.
This one where you just see somebody have them on, see somebody, like, certain wrestler, and you just go, you poor bastard. Fandango for pissing somebody off in the back to, well, get the Fandango gimmick. Number 2, Los Matadores for getting upstaged by a midget, that being El Torito. 3, Rockstar Spud for getting chased out of AJ Styles' house. Number 4, Zack Ryder. Well, that's kind of self-explanatory, but yeah. Number 5, Sin Cara for this, because, well, the gimmick's kind of doomed. My personal pick, Los Matadores for getting upstaged by a midget.
I guess I'll go next on this, and I'm going to say Zack Ryder. I mean, the WWE really don't know what to do with him. I mean, he had only one title, the U.S. title. Then they put him with, Eve Torres. Then, ever since then, they put him back on Superstars, back on Main Event. And now, you either see him in a crowd or WWE is going to just have him sit there with his mid-checks until what they're going to do with him. And I feel sorry for him. I mean, Zack Ryder does have a lot of potential just to be put in that predicament, and it sucks. I'm voting Zack Ryder.
You know what? I got to go with you because, again, he does have that potential. And even when he did the Eva Marie, he was even doing the angle with Kane and John Cena. He took some great bumps, and it's just he can never seem to get out of the gate. And he's been in the company for so many years. And don't forget, he even did the internet thing, which was the IC Championship, and he was making billions and billions of hits until the WWE said, oh, well, you know what? That's a good idea. Now we kind of want it. And he was dumb enough to let go of it. And now WWE owns it. That was all his first. And then, he's like a fool was the sign, and that's, again, a big, big mistake. Andy, over to you.
I'd go with Zack Ryder. As it says, self-explanatory.
Yeah. So, James.
I would say Zack Ryder, but at the same time, I feel like I would more of going for last year. So mine actually had to be Rockstar Spud being chased out the AJ Styles' house. That poor bastard.
Okay. Well, the winner for this vote, of course, is Zack Ryder, because we had a 3 vote.
I've got somebody else to put in there.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little question for. I put it in the chat room, but he's a little question for everybody. Who is rumoured to be returning to the WWE? He fought Carlito on December the 7th in an indie match, and was reported to have said, "I will be appearing on WWE very soon." Well, the next very soon WWE where has-beens come into the programme is
WrestleMania 30?
Royal Rumbles, where they have people coming in. And who are we talking about? Ken Shamrock.
What?
Ken Shamrock? He's thought about talking about going back once or twice. There was rumored about him going back.
Ken Shamrock fought Carlito December the 7th in an indie match. And the guys that interviewed him after, he sort of dropped a subtle hint that he would be appearing late January on WWE. What happens late January? Royal fucking Rumble.
Royal Rumble, yeah.
Don't be surprised. You heard it here first, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. Unreal. Well,
I hope he brings Ryan Shamrock with him, because she was a bit of,
Yeah. maybe we can. She'll have a wardrobe malfunction, and she'll get the award for 2014.
I want to see you get it down with AJ Lee. Whee!
Well, let's move on to our final category, which is You Lucky Bastard Award pick. And this is a pick, of course. And this is CM Punk for banging AJ and Lita in the same year. Daniel Bryan for scoring a Bella twin. John Cena for having a Bella and having titles handed to him. And Hulk Hogan for getting the hell out of TNA before it's too late. I'm going to go first on this one, and I got to go with CM Punk. He's had both AJ and Lita in the same year. That's lucky. Lance, over to you.
Best in the world!
Yeah, absolutely. Andy, over to you.
I'm going to go for the same. He has had the best in the world.
Yeah.
Where with Hulk Hogan, he's had the dregs of the planet.
Yeah. Will, your picks.
Oh, joy. I'm gonna go on a different route, guys, and I'm gonna say Hulk Hogan for getting out of TNA because it could have been a lot more worse if he would have stayed on. And the signs were there. I think Hogan was noticing, so I'll give this one to Brother.
All right. And finally, James, over to you.
I would have to say that it's gonna be CM Punk. You bang both Lita and AJ in the same year? Oh, mercy, you're a lucky bastard.
Well, that's going to conclude our year-end awards, and of course, that is also going to wrap things up for our show. We would love to thank Jack Shit for coming on the show. Unfortunately, she had some technical problems with the phone, but she was chatting with us in our text room, so we always, she's always welcome back to come on the show. Andy, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you?
Yes, you can find me normally at www.stokehaunted.com, where I will be bringing you scary shit. There's loads of pictures on me on the website.
Yes, and you're also on Facebook. What's the name of it now?
Bitstrips.
Bitstrips, yes. All the time. Every time I turn around, you're sending new pictures out of Bitstrips. I'm telling you, Andy. Pretty soon I'm waiting for you to do pictures of me, have me the hardcore crew on. I'm like,
don't give me any ideas.
Believe me, I'm sure it's already little ideas are circling in your head. Will, why don't you tell people what you got going on HWR?
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, your boy from the West Coast is going to give you all information on wrestling articles all across the country, and I'll give you guys your information on Face and Heel of the Week, so stay tuned with all those mighty pictures and articles in the news to come.
All right. Finally, James, why don't you tell people what you got going on HWR and our good friend Billy's WGS TV?
I do the news article also, but I also do Diva Knockout, a Women's Wrestler of the Week.
All right. And Lance, why don't you tell everyone what you got going on over on Lance Moss TV?
A little bit of wrestling reviews, album reviews, a little bit of NASCAR. Thank you, Andy. Q&As. And Brendan cooking videos and whatever else I can come up with.
And I must say, and wishing people Merry Christmas when you're rat-arsed.
Actually, I was not drunk that night.
You weren't drunk. You should have been.
Oh, jeez. And keep in mind, for Lance Moss TV, that's over on youtube.com/Lance Moss TV. And as always, we'd like to, check out our good friend Billy's page over at youtube.com/TheWrestlingGamer, and check out his Facebook page, facebook.com/WGSTV. And anytime you want to check out our page at facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. So for everyone here on the Shining Star Rick Star saying, we'll see you when we see you. Thank you for listening to this edition of Hardcore Wrestling Radio. Be sure to follow us on our pages, facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio and Spreaker.com/HWR Media, and also on youtube.com/HWR Show. Until the next time, this is Rick Starr saying, see you when we see you.